Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about how I'm revising for my mocks in year 13. So I do 4 subjects and they're all essay subjects, so my revision techniques are obviously going to be more relevant to those compared to science, but also I think the methods can work for everything. So one of the main things I've been doing is practice exam questions, practice exam papers, because at the end of the day they're one of the best ways to revise because you're getting practice in essay technique and you're also getting practice in what you can remember. It's all very good, all very lovely. Another thing I've been doing that I've been finding really helpful is making prezzies or videos sort of just explaining different topics. So at some point over this week or next week, I'm going to have some videos coming out, hopefully on equality and utilitarianism, just assuming I actually get round to it. I have made the prezzies, I just need to film the videos. And even just watching those back helps me revise, making them helps me revise, and apparently it helps you guys too. So that's a really good way. Teach other people, teach yourself. It's great. It's not great having to teach yourself the topic from the beginning, which we've had to do over lockdown, but you know. Another really good way to revise is through doing blurts. So a blurt is where you will write a topic in the middle and then give yourself a certain amount of time, say 15 minutes, to just write everything you can remember about that topic. And then what I like to do is get my folder and go back over and write in a different pen what I didn't remember. So I did this for Russia yesterday, and let me get my folder. I found it really, really helpful. And it was also a little bit of a confidence boost that apparently I remembered most things in the Alexander II topic. So this is how my blurts tend to look. As you can see, I've written the topic in the middle, and then the first thing I did was write all the subtopics I remembered, just because that helps guide me into what I'm going to be trying to remember. And then I'll write all the little details, and then I'll go back over and I'll write everything I forgot. Great. Okay, revision cards. Revision cards are also really good, but only if you look over them. So, for example, I have got these revision cards for English, and what I've been doing is I've been reading the front. So this is one of the critics, and then I'll say, okay, what do I remember about this critic? He basically talks about how Iago has no motive, and then on the back, Iago's sense of intellectual superiority is motiveless. And I'll go through that in the morning, I'll go through that in the evening until I know I've remembered it. I've also been rereading the books we've been studying for English, so I'm currently going through Rebecca and just doing a little bit of a close reading of it. Don't kill me for writing in a book, but I've been annotating it. It is my own copy. It's not like I'm writing in a library book. It hurts me to write in books. Yeah, so that's something I've been finding really helpful. I've been doing a lot of coursework, so that's not really revision. It's great. My school timed mocks right around university interviews and right around coursework deadlines. So, I'm at peak stress right now. So Seneca's also really good, Seneca Learning, but they're not so good for essay subjects, but for science, I've heard they're pretty decent. So I would go have a look. They just ask you questions from your memory and give you a score, and they encourage you to come back every few days just to keep refreshing your memory, which is, again, really helpful. Quizlet's quite good. I'd also say do some further reading is another way I've been preparing for mocks, and that's the way I'd recommend you prepare for mocks. So this actually ties into my history coursework. Even though I'm not doing Russia for my coursework, I am still revising obviously for my real exams. So I've been reading some books about the French Revolution and a lot of articles about the French Revolution, which have been really helpful. And this is The French Revolution, Class War or Culture Clash. Pretty decent book, actually. I would recommend it. My table is a complete and utter mess right now. My mum is going to kill me. So basically, revision card, blurts, practice papers, Seneca, Quizlet, they're really good. Also listening to podcasts. So there's loads for sociology. You've got the Sociology Show, for example, or even just stuff related to law if you're doing crime and deviance. Me rereading The Secret Barrister because I mentioned it in my personal statement and I had a uni interview. I hadn't read it since year 11, but now I've read it recently and it was good revision. And I realised that I completely missed half of what it was talking about when I was in year 11, so that was a good move. Law in Action podcast. For history, BBC 4 In Our Time is really good. RS, I think it's called Panpsycast. Panpsycast is really good. definitely would recommend them. 100% amazing, really funny, really useful, a little bit cringy, but that's what makes it great. Yeah, that's mostly what I've been doing. If I just flick through my folder here just to see if there's anything I'm forgetting to tell you, I've been going back over the there's me being unable to talk, textbooks to make sure that I didn't miss anything in my notes. I've been bullying my teachers by sending them 50 million essays, and they're not very happy with me because I sent my sociology teacher a 30 marker, then 2 20 markers, and she was like, I don't want to mark this much. And I'm like, well, yeah, well, you're going to mark it anyway. No jokes. I do try and mark them myself just so I get an idea of the mark scheme, but also I feel like I undermark myself or I overmark myself. So I do like having teachers look at it. So for English, I do tend to overmark, and for sociology, I am actually pretty accurate. But for RS, I tend to undermark, so it's all right, very useful. Also, just planning essays. I went through yesterday, I took an RS paper and I just planned every single question, and I've decided on the weekend I'm going to time the full paper because we still haven't done a full paper. Thanks, coronavirus, for that. But eventually I will be able to. Soon. Something I've been doing is rewriting some of my old notes as well, just so that I can look back on them properly. Some of my old notes were really bad, which is why the equality teaching video is taking so long. Also because my screen recorder isn't working, but also because my notes are so bad that I don't really want to share them because I think they're bad. So I'm just going to fix them. They're very patchy, so I'm going to fix the content and I'll be able to do it. So essentially, yeah, that's how I'm preparing for mocks. I do hope that you guys are all taking care of yourselves and you're doing well and you're not too stressed. Make sure to look after yourself. That's a big thing as well, preparing for mocks. Make sure you eat, make sure you drink, make sure you eat 3 meals a day, drink 8 glasses of water a day, get lots of sleep and take care of yourself. Give yourself a self-care day. Honestly, please look after yourselves. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, comment anything you'd like to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.